we are in week 15 here at Big Balls Fantasy Football, and I have more real men, as I do every week for everyone, to help you go through that next level of your playoffs. Now, I got kicked out in one level of my playoffs this week. I was really mad. I made like 2 bad choices, but the other one I'm on the second level, and then another league I'm starting this week. So I still have 2 leagues that I am in it. So let's get right down to it. My first pick is running back Alfred Morris. Now, I know he hasn't done what everyone had really hoped he had done this season, but he has still been very good. He has over 1,000 rushing yards already this season on the ground, and he has 6 touchdowns. So Washington's been pretty bad, but he still is getting it done in some games. Now, they play Atlanta this week, which is ranked 30th against the run. Not that this game is going to be the most exciting. The Redskins have been sucking it. Atlanta, we know, has just totally blown their season. So it might not be much of a game to watch unless you're watching for those fantasy points, and I think he can get you some this week. Lacy had 65 yards and a touchdown against Atlanta last week. CJ Spiller actually had 149 yards and a touchdown against them in week 13, and we know that Spiller's been struggling, so he went off on Atlanta in week 13. And Pierre Thomas had 73 yards in week 12 against them. So again, they are not doing very good against any of these running backs. And Pierre Thomas and CJ Spiller are just type of running backs, so Alfred Morris should be able to do very good. And the last point I really want to stress is that they are playing in Atlanta, so he gets to run on turf, play indoors. You're not going to have to worry about weather, and he should be good to get in your lineup this week to help you through the playoffs. My second pick for everyone this week is San Francisco's defense. If you have San Francisco's defense, you have to get them in your lineup. This week they do have a pretty good matchup. So I don't know why you'd ever sit them, like I say, but definitely get them in your lineup. They are ranked 4th overall in total defense, so of course they are up there as was expected for this season for them. And Tampa Bay's offense ranks 31st in the league. They are not doing that good. They're only scoring about 18.8 points per game, so they're not even hitting the 20-point per game mark, even though they've been winning over the last few games. And San Francisco has 32 sacks on the season. You have to remember, Mike Glennon is a rookie quarterback, and he hasn't been playing bad. He's been playing pretty good. But if he starts to feel that pressure and they start sacking him a little bit, I think he's going to start making some mistakes. Now, they do play in Tampa Bay, so again, you shouldn't have to worry about the weather too much there. That should be a good thing. And last, I think that San Francisco has to rely on their defense. I mean, we saw it in the Seattle game. San Francisco's offense just is not getting going. They're not producing like they should this season. So if they don't rely on their defense, they could really slip up and Tampa Bay could start scoring. So this defense is going to be what has to hold them in the game so that they can win this one. And they definitely need a win down there in Tampa Bay. So go ahead, get their defense in your lineup. You're going to get some fantasy points, probably a couple turnovers. Glennon will make a couple mistakes, some sacks, and maybe even a pick 6. And my last pick for this week is wide receiver Dwayne Bowe. Now, I know I have him in a league, and he has been up and down this season. And most of the time, he's been sitting on my bench. But this is the league that I'm starting the playoffs this week, and I'm going to start him. He has a good matchup against Oakland. And he's been doing a little bit better over the last few weeks. He still has the dropsies a little bit, so that does concern me. But he has had a touchdown in 3 of the last 4 games. So he is finding the end zone, which is definitely what you need when you're in your fantasy playoffs. Now, Oakland gives up an average of 185 receiving yards per game. So hopefully Alex Smith will be able to find him a lot, and he can, again, get in the end zone once, maybe twice if we're lucky, because I have him, so I'm hoping for that. It is a division game that could be close in scoring. Kansas City ranks 17th in offense, and Oakland ranks 20th. So neither of their offenses are blowing it up, but they seem to be pretty similar in where they're ranked, so in scoring and yards and everything like that. So this could actually be, a little bit of a shootout, which would be weird. But it's possible because they are playing in Oakland, so Oakland gets that home field advantage. And this game is more important for Kansas City, obviously, than Oakland. Oakland is out of it. They are not even in the playoff hunt, but Kansas City does have a wild card spot right now, so they need to keep on winning. This game's going to be important, and I think Dwayne Bowe, is going to be a part of it, a big part of it. So get him in your lineup this week. Like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this one because I have him. So we are going to swing it now to Greg. He has 3 beast mode picks. Again, I'm hoping my picks do better than they did last week, but the weather was a lot of that issue. And I know that Greg has 3 good picks that are solid for everyone this week. So let's take it to Greg.